And welcome back to Lemmings Plus II. It's been a while, but I'm here with a new video. Been a bit busy working on Lemmings Plus IV. So we're up to Sneaky, and the first level is called Good Luck. So as you can see, there's kind of a 7 theme going on here, you know, 7 being a lucky number and all. But then you start the level and BAM! 13 of everything. So it's kind of like a tricky thing in that regard. As for the level itself, it's a pretty average standard work lemming level, bit trickier than some of them, but especially with these one-way fields here that can throw you off like that. Sort of got to go under them, then work your way back up to the exit. Boom. So it's one of those levels that looks easy, but is more of a medium difficulty. And so with that out of the way, we're on to level 2, which is a scenario. The name's a combination of Ascend and Scenario, and it's kind of like a much harder version of Medi 4 from the original Lemmings Plus. So tighter time limit, less skills, 100% needed. You got some pointless bombers here, but overall the actual solution of it is a bit different, somewhat similar. I suppose really it's only the concept that's that similar, the actual level itself is fairly different. So that's that level done. On to level 3, which is Tall Tales. Now, it's not immediately recognisable because of the different layout, but it's actually somewhat based off the idea of Medi 23, this is, in that it's a 5 of everything 2-minute level with a 100% save requirement. But it's also not a particularly hard level. One thing to keep in mind is you've only got one spare builder, and even that only if you place this last one perfectly. But all in all, it's still only the 3rd rank, it's still not too hard. It's level 4, Overflow Zone, and this is another gimmick level. And as it says, explaining the gimmick would give away the solution, so just pay close attention to the level's title. Now obviously, since I'm revealing the solutions here, you'll see what the gimmick is, you'll see how you solve the level. So the first thing you may notice about this one is that there is no way you're going to get up there with 3 builders. I mean, you've got 1 just to get across here, and then you need 3 to get up there. Obviously with limited destructive skills you can't just create an upwards path through here. Now the trick actually is, as the name implies, the skill counts actually overflow. So, if you watch here, use my 3 builders, but we use another one when it's at 0 and it wraps back around to 99, and this continues infinitely. So, you basically have infinite of every skill on this level. You don't, however, have infinite time limit. That doesn't overflow, that runs out when it runs out. And so this is one of those levels that's really, you work it out and then you know how to beat it. You never have to work anything out again. The execution is quite simple, and it doesn't require any tricky maneuvers. So we're on to level 5, which is one of the hardest Sneaky levels. The Squatchin Of The Mess. 50 lemmings, 98% to be saved, and start off here with a fatal fall. And so this is one of the levels that I actually basically had the entire level planned out before I actually made it. So for now you make floaters. Obviously you do have to build a platform, and you send 1 lemming down, trap another one in this digger pit, which will just come back to here. But this is basically so that you can make him a climber after this gap is sealed. The reason you can't just let them keep coming up is firstly because they'll die here, and secondly because you need to get this platform quickly. So once you've got all that, the rest is a fairly simple matter of create a path they can get up. You've got a miner, so you need to use that, and then you build over the blocker. So, I don't know, when you actually see the solution it doesn't seem that tricky, but it is actually, can be quite tricky to work it out in the first place. So now we're on to level 6, which is Flash Flood, 20 lemmings, 60%. And first thing you may notice is that we have an exit on both sides. I'm not actually 100% sure if it's possible to win using the left exit. It's possible to get some lemmings to it, but as far as I'm aware, to actually solve the level you have to use the one on the right. So the bunching them up is because there's heaps of traps along the bottom here. These are the sinkhole traps which were originally invisible. And once you pass them, it's pretty simple from there. So it's kind of another one trick to it level. And we're on to the next one, level 7, Heroic Heights, which is 50 lemmings, 98% to be saved, and this one's a bit trickier. So as you notice, you obviously need a builder to get up here. You can't just climb straight up because this little overhang, and there's no way 2 builders will get you up there. So it's kind of a matter of timing your climbers so that one will turn back while he's bashing. And then you build up on this side, which has a bit of a more friendly slope to it, and over here mine down to release these guys. So it's a bit of a multitasking level, but overall a fairly simple solution. We're on to level 8, which is Lemming Surge. So this is the other 250 lemming level, and unlike the first one where you could lose most of them, you've got to save pretty much, like not literally all of them, but fairly close to it on this one. So basic idea here is obviously you've got to create a safe landing. These things here are just a distraction. So set the release rate up pretty quick because the time limit is kind of tight on this one. The basic trick to this one here is you bomb a hole and you use bashes to slow the lemmings down. And while that's happening, you have this one that goes ahead to create this platform. You can see 250 lemmings just puts a bit of stress on the engine. That's why it's actually in fast forward mode, but it's not going too much faster than normal play. As you can see, you do it like that and this platform's ready just in time. This basher here obviously can't be saved, but that still leaves enough lemmings making it to the exit, even with a few to spare. Then we're on to level 9, which is Rolling Rampage. Now this level was originally intended to be one of the version 7 replacements in Lemmings Plus I. Somehow failed to actually get in there, so it was remade for Lemmings Plus II. And this is very much a worker lemming level, with the difference being that rather than the worker lemming making the path, the worker lemming himself has to make a path for himself so that he can get to this side and free the crowd. So beyond that, it's pretty much just a build the way level. This is actually probably one of the easier levels in the sneaky rating. Obviously there are some parts here, like if you build too close to the edge, you'll go over this edge here and splat. The other tricky part is this builder here has to not turn around there. Now since you can't get high enough, at least not easily, to bomb straight through to the top, the trick is you actually bomb below the blocker here and the combined explosions give them a way down. And you've got one basher left to free up the path to the exit. So overall not a particularly hard level, got some twists to it. And so now we're on to level 10, last one for this video, which is Drought season. I named this level. I myself don't actually know how you say that word. I've only ever seen it written. You know, like the wind. Yeah, I keep hearing that joke in like everything with like that exact word, wind, wind. I don't know what it's actually a reference to, but like Family Guy's done it. I think South Park did it, or Simpsons. I don't know. So I'm guessing it must be a reference somewhere. But anyway, back on topic. So this level, as you may have noticed, the save requirement is quite low. And the trick here is that you don't, well, I mean, with really clever setups it can be done, but generally you don't have enough skills to contain the crowd. So it's pretty much the idea is work a lemming with the other lemmings following you, I guess you could say. And so because of that, since you can't hold the crowd back, you've just got to solve it as quickly as you can. And if done right, enough lemmings will make it to the exit. Yeah, with a couple to spare. So that's the first half of the sneaky ranking. Hope you're enjoying it. I'll get the next video up now as well, as I've been doing with all the Lemmings Plus II ones, 2 at a time. So see you in the next video.